How did you stay in touch with your family, Joe?
The only communication I had was my oldest sister. And so our letters were not, by the time I get mail, it was always a period of time. I didn't get it every week. It was because we were up in a jungle most of the time. The only time we get the letters when we go back an R&R for a week, and then we get all our letters, So, but that communication with her, and she always sent me little packages, little goodies and stuff like that I shared with my buddies, and but that's the only communication I had, and she knew everything that. And my pay, I didn't understand it. I was only getting $21 a month, but I had it automatically sent to my home, and my sister would put it away for us, And so I understand it all depends. I guess we were the low ball of the service, because we got less money than any other organization or services, which is sad, and we were always in trouble. What I also like to say is that compared to, this is not something I like to put in there, is that you take Europe, Europe, you had General Eisenhower, Marshall, Patton, and they're all Army. And I would say that most of Europe activity was all Army, on the ground. Not any, too many other services, and that really bothered me, that people don't understand the Army played a big part in Europe, and nothing's always been mentioned like Marines. You always hear about the Air Corps, you always hear about the Navy. There's nothing wrong with them, because we can't do without them. But Army was never, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I used to go to breakfast with my church people every Sunday, One of them was in a Marine, and one of them was in the, with Patton as an engineer, and I was in the Army. So I was the one that got each one of those, their buttons to put on their lapel for their service, So one day, a person come to greet us, in the service. So they greeted the person, the Marine. They greeted my brother, and they just bypassed me as an Army man, because Army is not considered the top notch, especially the infantry. But you look at all these guys in the other wars like Iraq, and Afghanistan, and Korea, and the Vietnam. There were Army guys on the ground, but they couldn't do without the airport. They couldn't, or the Navy. But the Army was very much involved with World War II and all the rest of them. But we're not recognized as the rest of the services, that. And I'm telling you the story at the restaurant, how I was ignored, and I had my Army pin just like the other boys did, and I got them their pins. And I just thought I'd like to mention that the Army's like right now, all these guys coming home, these Army beautiful guys coming home with missing limbs, it's sad. Like in World War II, we had a lot of them coming home without missing limbs, but they're not as bad, because remember, we had no helicopters. We had no airfield come and pick up your men and take them away. Anytime World War II infantrymen got their limbs moved out, they died. They died because there's no one there helping them out. And so I thought I just mentioned that, which I think is very, very important. We're all important. World War we saved the world. World War II men saved that, not only the infantry, but all the services. The Navy went through hell. The Marines, they had a terrible time with a lot of the islands in the Pacific, So all the service departments did a good job. You know, you couldn't do it up, but the Army was very much important too. You know, and so that's something that I was really upset about, and I thought I'd talk about that.